In this video, we will use textures to add some details into our object. So what we will use are free textures. So for having these textures, you can go here into demo files of blender.org here, and you can search for, where is it? For sculpting here, download here, you will have a zip file. Inside this file, you will have the VDM brushes, and it's just a blend file. And here you have the Blender Kit add-on. You just download the Blender Kit and I will show you how it works basically. So what you will do, you will open your demo file here, for example, and save it somewhere that will be an asset browser. Like this, you will always have here your assets here. Like for example, when I sculpt something here, with this object. Okay, now you can see that I have everything that is related to the dragon here, and inside I have extra horns, skins, and solo scales and spikes and everything. So what I suggest you to do is to make something like that already just with the dragon here. So just to make this, you just download the file that is from blender.org, and then you just go into the Blender Kit add-on. You just download the Blender Kit. You use the zip file here to go in Edit Preferences and go into Get into Add-ons, and here install from disk, and from the zip file you will have this add-on that is very powerful. Here you will go into object mode to use it. You will click on that and you will search for dragon, for example, okay, and you will search for brushes over there. You can buy this add-on for sure. It's a very good add-on, and if you really want to be professional with Blender, I recommend you to buy it. It's really worth it. You have everything with here. This little sign is locked because it's not free, but a lot of free things are already really cool to use just like that. So we will just work with free stuff here, but you can buy this because it's really a saver of time. So let's go there if you can, at least, and you can go with free first. Like this, you can just click on something and it will appear into your sculpt tools. Okay, so it's very easy to make this, and when you did download everything that you need here, you can save your file into a folder that will be here into your preferences, again into the file path. You will go into the asset libraries and you can see that I have a VDM using brushes that comes from the demo files here, and I did add into this file all of those things that we will use during the process, and like this we can just have this kind of tools ready to use in sculpt mode. Just like this, you can see that we have everything now. So what we will do first, we will add little spikes and littles and big scales as well, just to add more details and to enhance our model. Okay, so let's make things easy, and for that, first of all, we can use this one here. So this one is very simple to use. You just click and drag and you will have one scale very easily. Okay, so what is good with this is that you can just click and drag a little one. Let's start here maybe. Okay, you can see the direction that I put here will help me to create something into the right direction, just like this. Okay, if you need more details, you can just, if you need bigger scale, you can just scale a tool just like this. Okay, and or just click and drag and you will have this kind of behavior as well. Okay, that works well. And again, we can just here add more bigger scales to have something that will work until there. Okay, good. So already it creates already something that looks cool. So this works very well on creases. Like for example here as well, we can do that same way. So we can start with littles and increase the size of it just by zooming out. Just like this, very simple, zoom out more, just like it is. Okay, as you can see, it's really simple. It's not complicated at all. Good. So already we have something cool with this, just with this technique. We can make with other kind of scales here, like for example, these ones here. I like to use them as well for this kind of behavior. So in that case, with Control 7, for example, we could go there, just start with here, something like this, you see. So for this, we can just not go too far, just after it. Yeah, like that, it will be okay. Because after it uses the last one. Okay, so here it looks already cool. Let's go back, Control 7 here, and make them bigger and bigger as we go under here. This one was too far. Good. Good. And again, we can add one just like this, okay? Maybe you can smooth this a little if needed, just to make this a little better, but already it looks cool. I like the effect, okay? And then after, you can just play with all these techniques. So here you have horns, for example, that you can add this with just make a line of horns like this. Or you can just use another stroke method here, like for example, or instead of space here, you can use the anchored. And like this, you can just drag here little spikes everywhere you need. Okay, so here I would like spikes everywhere. Here comes from here. Okay, we can add a lot, little ones, big ones. Follow the direction of the skin. Okay, maybe a little more here, over there as well. Everything that is outside the looks something like that. Might be cool already. You can play with others as well. You have here the simple spikes here. It will make the same kind of things. Or this, the torn horn brush, will make something like that. So just experiment a little with what we have here, and you can really have cool stuff that comes out from this. Okay, so this might be cool as well. Okay, so just to have more interesting details just like that. Okay, so already it looks a little better. We could create a big crease over there on top, and for this what we would like is to come back into general settings here, select here the crease one, and into the top view we would like to create a big one with control click like this. Okay, so something that will go directly like that, and that will create a nice shape here. Good, something sharp like that. And now we can come back into the dragon section here, and we will just use other kind of brush here. Maybe that one look cool. Yeah, that one looks very cool. So let's go there and start with little ones. Okay, and we will increase the size. Try to be in the center or it will look a little strange. Okay, and increase the size. again. Okay, so it's simple stuff, but it's really efficient. Bigger and bigger and bigger. Cool. Okay. Now, what we would like to do is to add more details into the skin after that. One that I really like to use is this one over... Is it this one? No, it's not this one. This one is more for organic stuff, aquatic stuff, let's say. I think it's that one. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, it is that one. This one is very efficient as well. Okay, you can create shape like that, very cool shape. Okay, try to be not too much repetitive for this kind of design. Okay, here we can add a little more here. Maybe one there and there. And then after we have to keep space to make the skin and the rest look realistic as well. So let's continue this process here for the skin. And what I would like to do is to manage the horns first. Okay, so let's go into the horns and in object mode here. Okay, so what I would like to do is Control A here, visual geometry to mesh. Like this, I'm sure that I can move this inside here with the G, with the grab tool to push this inside with the symmetry X like that. I need to remesh first. Okay, let's go with this 0.01 first to see how it will look. It's not that bad. We have to smooth it a little more. Maybe remesh 0.005 first. Let's go in edit mode here and make a M by distance. And now we could add a subdivision modifier. Like this, it will smooth the surface more than what we have. And now we can just go there and remesh it. Good. So now we have something that looks a little more interesting. I can just push this inside. Like this, I can manage the eyes. Okay, so let's go for the eyes. The eyes, it's simple. I will just go into the right one, the head, and into sculpt mode, and I will have the eyes that are already ready to use like that. Very simple, easy to use. I would like to make it a little more angry, so what I can do with the J here, just like this. Okay, make it a little more angry, like that. Okay, just to have this simple shape, like it is. Okay, good. So now what we can play with is something like this one, the creator skin, that will create interesting things, or the fine wrinkles here. The fine wrinkles are really interesting if you use it, not with the default value here. I like to use it with the stroke here, not dots, but again, I like to use anchor for this kind of thing. And like this, I can add details in some places. So let's go there into the strength. Maybe we'll put 0.7. And with this, you see that you can just add some details in some place like that. For example, be careful, it will be by default inside as well. So go into your tools here and go into the advanced and remove the topology. The front face, enable the front face only, just like that. Okay, like this, you can just add some details in some places you would like to add. So everything inside the head, like for example, all of these places here will look good with this tool here. See that it's quite easy to add some details with these tools, and it works pretty well. We'll make the same kind of effect for the tongue and the horns as well. Okay, so let's continue here. I would like to use this only into that part. So for this, I can just make something like that. Okay. And it looks quite good. Okay. To add more details. Good. Now I can smooth some parts here if needed, like for example here with Shift. Good. And make the same kind of effect over here. Always to make things more organic and more interesting. So the goal here after for the skin will be to not use too much similar textures. Okay, so here we'll make the same for the horns. So let's go for the horns here, and we will make the same kind of effect there. So let's smooth this first if needed everywhere. Okay, so you have the possibility to make it with that direction. Okay, I smooth everything there. In that direction, it might work. Okay, it might work pretty well actually. Always try to not use exact the same angle or the same direction. Okay. So this could be a first step like this. And as you can see, it will work pretty well to make the shape more interesting. Okay, or you can just use this as well. Okay, like for example, this kind of setting over it, just like this, into the other direction to cross it. Okay, but with more little pattern, just like this. Okay, oops, sorry. Try to be sure to have the right direction. Good. And same here for this one. Good. And smooth this in the top of it, and you have already something that looks a little better. Good. So now let's create the skin-like texture, and you can add some veins. You have some veins here, for example, in case you want to add some veins, let's say over here, so it doesn't look that good, but you can create this in case you want. You have a lot of skin textures and creators of or what you will want to need here. So yeah, don't hesitate to try them. It might work well. So I will come back here into the head, maybe add some veins. The veins are far too strong. 0.2 maybe. Yeah, 0.2 might be okay. And we can add them a little here, over there. Try to not be try to not put too much. Okay, use these textures a little bit, just like it is. Good. Now here we can play with another texture as well. Be sure to, yeah, here you have an interesting skin texture, but now let's play with little scales for that. So let's go with it. And the goal here is to not be too repetitive and to not have always the same texture. And if you select, for example, that one here and put it all over the skin, it will not be so much realistic. So what we will play with different textures. So we'll choose a few here. So let's go with these textures. We have a few good textures over it that comes from Blender kits for that. But here you can see that they have something really sharp around the edge. So what I like to do in that case, I like to use the fall off not too strong. So let's use a smoother fall off, and like this we can just blend them more easily. Okay, so it might be more interesting like that. So to use this and to be precise with it, what you can do first is to create a mask here. So what we will do, we just paint a mask that will define where we want the scales. So like this, you will be more precise and you will not feel the horns or something else. Okay, just this part of the skin, for example. Let's go here, continue. Maybe we can put this part over there as well. Okay, and maybe this part here. Let's start with that already. Okay, and with Control Y, now you have this part that you can use. So let's go there, come back with the skin here. And what is good with this technique is that you can just feel what you need to feel. You don't have to feel other places. As you can see here, it's easy to blend and you don't have to worry about if you cross or not the space. It will feel what you want to feel because you did use the right space here. So now let's come back into our mask with Alt M without our mask, and you can see more or less the result that it will give. Okay, so it can be with different kind of textures. Don't use only one kind of texture. Like for example, let's fill this part here. Okay, so again, I come back with this one and let's fill all this part. So I'm not too precise and I could spend more time. Sculpting is a matter of time efficiency. Okay, but if you spend more time, you will have more details. And don't hesitate to spend time, remake things, save your files, take your time. Okay, so let's go for this one and here Control Y again, and now I can come back with another one. So let's go maybe with this one in that case. Like this will have different scales that will blend well. Maybe I will come back here again with this constant. I don't want it. I want a smoother value here. Like this I can blend this a little more easily. Okay, just like that. And you can add more of this skin texture. That looks very good. Okay, maybe the orientation of it is not that good here, so I will want it like this. Okay, add more there. This one is too big. Yeah, this one is better, and this one is better as well. Okay, good. Now let's come back to it and let's make Alt M to unmask everything. So you can see that you can really add nice details over there. Then after, if you want, for example, you can just come back with little scales here and push them over there just around the eyes to add more details and to follow the geometry that you want to follow. Like this might be cool here. Okay, you can make the same kind of thing here or use other kind of settings here with different scales that you have. Okay, just continue the process. So for example, here we will want another one. Maybe on top here everything will be the same. So let's go on it. So let's paint it. Let's paint over that. Let's try to be as much as precise as we can. We don't have that much time to do it. So here I try to make it the best I can. Okay. And it's really the way of doing it. After you can make it manually if needed. You draw a mask very precisely like this, and you draw the scales into the mask yourself. Okay, it can be a way to use this kind of technique, but yeah, here it's not really what we will need. So let's go until there and until there. Good. What is good with the technique of having the mask separated with the object separated here is that I don't paint, for example, on the horns. So that's why it can be very useful to use that. So here you can see that I have this one. So now let's go with another texture, maybe that one. Again, I come back here with the smoother here. And I will just with Ctrl Y invert this and make this kind of pattern. Okay, very easy, very simple. Or maybe that one looks a little too much similar. So let's go for this maybe. How it looks this. Interesting one. It's not really the one that I wanted. And what about that one? That one is interesting too, but not the place for it. Maybe this might look cool. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go with this one. And sometimes you can change and add a little of this one over there and here, just to make things a little more interesting and not only one texture. You can mix them a little bit. So I will add a few spots over there and come back with others. Not, it wasn't this one, it was that one. Okay, just fill everything with this. And then after you can continue this process and fill everything to have a nice texture where you want to. Okay, so with this masking technique, you can really add details where you want with the texture that you want. Okay, so this is important. I will make Alt M to have the texture, the mask without everything. So I like this one as well, the creator skin. I want here a stroke just with here anchored, and you can see it makes something like that. So I want here not area plane into the texture here. Here I don't want the tiled, I want the area plane here, and like this I can control more. And again, I will have a fall off with a smoother value like that. Okay, so not something too strong, maybe 0.15, something like this, just to add extra details in some spaces. Okay, so just a little bit here, like this. Okay, it will just fill things with extra details just to have something a little more interesting. Okay. the dragon needs to be aged and with a lot of texture. So if you want, you can cross the texture, like I will put 0.8 here. Oh, no, not 0.8, 0.08, sorry. And you can cross above the texture, okay, if you need. And then after, just to add this kind of textury thing everywhere, okay? So it's important to make this pops up a little more organic and not too much repetitive, okay? Looks better already. Maybe a little more of scales here and there. Let's try with this one here. We didn't use it that much. I like it actually. Let's go there with the smoother value here. Okay, it will make something like this. And maybe the strength is a little too much, so 0.8 might be cool. And like this, we will can have this kind of nice scaly texture here. Okay, again, we can fill some spaces here. And good, we are good to go. Maybe a little bit of this over there. And we have a nice dragon here. So now we can join the two geometries if needed. So for example, here we have the horns and the head separated. So we can go with both here in object mode. Okay, you can fill with Ctrl J here. Okay, and now let's go into the sculpt mode again. So it creates a face set. It's normal. You can make face set from visible if needed. Sometimes it's good to keep it, but yeah, it kind of separates the geometry. And if you want to separate it, you just use here the face set auto masking. And like this, you are sure to use only the brush, the tool that you use into the geometry of the horns only. So it's good sometimes to keep it. And let's keep it like that. I would like just to go with a little of this texture here into the horns. Okay, just a bit like this, not too much, just add some extra texturing. Okay, so you can see here I use this into both parts, but if I use face sets here, you can see that it will be only into the horns. Okay, so let's come back into general here, settings here. What we can do with the crease sharp over there, we can crease this to make them look more separated. Okay, again, you can use the face set here to make things look more realistic. And like this, you can kind of separate the objects a little more. Good. What you can do as well to make this more interesting, you can create a crease like that, but again, only into the horn. Something like this might look cool. Maybe the same here. Good. And again, it will just create interesting shapes that will be better. Okay, so now I can just make a face set from visible, and like this we have everything the same. In case you want, you can just remesh everything, but it's not always necessary. You can go here into the settings and show the cavity to see a little more the details, maybe a little here of the this with the with the shadow as well. So we'll pop up a little more. And here again with the matte cap, you can change the matte cap to manage and see how your sculpt pops the best. Okay. But into the next video, what we will do, we will just paint this into something more interesting. So let's go for the last video of this session. And with this, we will have something ready to render, and we can even light this for the purpose of this series. Okay, so we'll see that into the next video.